Battista Valli, a designer that I've been working with for years, debuted his Giamba line during Milan Fashion Week. And I did a hairstyle for it that I posted, some backstage pictures and some pictures from the show, and I got a great response. So I thought, let me film this and show people how to do it, because it really is something that if you kind of are instructed how to do it, it's something you can do yourself, I think. And if not, hairdressers can learn how to do this as well. And I know that it's not revolutionary, and some of you wrote, oh, I've done that before. And I'm sure you have, but I've never seen it before. And a lot of people that posted that they liked it had never seen it before. So we're going to demonstrate today on Morgan. Val Garland did the makeup for the show, and it's spectacular altogether. And of course then you put on a Giamba dress and you just look really perfect to go out. So first we do a middle part, and then I'm going to go and make a section about a 1/4 inch from each of the sides of the middle part. And then I'm going to tuck the rest of her hair behind her ears so it doesn't get in our way. There we go. And basically the one product that I use for this, I'm just going to perfect my sectioning. The look of the show, and we were lucky enough to have the girls come in first thing in the morning, so they came with clean hair. The look of the show was natural, young, and fresh girls. So it's not a really product heavy hairstyle, but to do our braiding, I do love using my serum, which gives me smoothness and lets me get in there and get all the little hairs that you may have fly when it's in the braid. So this helps to really control that. Now, if your hair is not is a little bit thin, we can then put dry shampoo on top of it. The Revive My Dry Shampoo is really great, and that bulks up the hair a little bit and builds it up, and it gives you a little more to work with after your hair is fine. So your recipe can change, but how we start is from the back. We start braiding. So I'm going to put a little bit of serum on my hands, and then I'm just going to rub it, especially through the parts of her hair that I'm going to braid. And not so much, but anyway, I'll just put the rest. Now, just put down a little bit more again. I'm going to take my comb, and I'm going to make really small sections. About, I would say, 1/4 of an inch to an inch. But use your eye for that. And divide it into 3 like I would a braid. But we're going to do a corner. We're going to do it from underneath. So you take your side, your left side, and you pass it on underneath the middle part to your right side. Then you take your right side, pass it underneath as well, and you go to your left side. Now, once you've done those first 3, then you come in here, you take a little piece of, you have an imaginary middle part, let's say, right? You take a little piece of hair, and you join it up with the part that you crossed over from the left to the right, and you pass it on underneath. Then you do the same thing. You take your little hair strand from the right and you pass it to the left. But we're also going to add a little bit of hair from the underneath. Each time you do that, you add a little bit of hair from the other side. Grabbing a few hairs from this right side, joining it up to my strand that I'm going to then pass under to the middle. And then I'm going to flip this left side and also grab a few hairs, join it to that piece. Bring it to the middle, bring my right side over, under, and also bring it to the middle at the same time that I'm grabbing a few hairs from each side. And you can see the cornrow starting to form. Now the important thing is really to keep your fingers close to the head So you keep the braid really tight and you really get that pattern of weave. Now, the bigger your section, the longer your weave is going to be, which I think kind of looks better when you have a tighter weave to the braid. Now, because Morgan has highlights, you really get to see the pattern on the braid, which is very nice as well. And then again, you pick up a few hairs from the left, join them up with the strand that then becomes your middle strand, okay? And I'm going to pass the right side under, grab a few little hairs again from this side, join them up, and hold that in the middle. And you keep doing that from each side. And some girls really know how to cornrow their own hair. I've seen it done and it's impressive to me. So that's why I thought, let me show everyone out there and maybe we can get people to play more with their hair. Because this is a fun look, and I think, of course you can do it starting from the front and going back, but I think this is what's special about this braid, is that it goes in the different direction that we're used to seeing. Again, grabbing a piece from this side, joining it in the middle strand, bringing it to the middle, bringing the left over to the middle, picking up a little hair, joining it up with that. And you keep doing that all the way till you get to the front. As I receive a message, or somebody does. Now, again, don't try to lift up your fingers too much from the head, because the braid does start to get loose if you lift it up. You can see I'm coming towards the end. Now you can bring your head up, Morgan. Thank you. And again, a few little hairs, join it up to the strand that crosses under in the middle. Under, grab a few little hairs, join it up. Now we're coming to the end of our braid, or cornrow, sorry. And this is the really tricky part of it all, I think, because I don't put an elastic at the end, but you don't want your braid to fall apart, and it will slide and fall apart. So as we get to the end and you've really used up all your hair, that means that's your sign that you're done. What I do is I take the three strands, this way, Morgan. I hold them really tight there, and with my comb, just do a little bit of back combing here to create a knot, and so it holds. And then I want to divide it into two sections, because so you kind of randomly take strands that divide into two sections, and then we tuck behind the ear. But how we're going to secure this part is then we're going to use hairpins, kind of curve it a little bit, as you can see, because the head starts to curve here, and I go underneath, and you make sure your pin crosses kind of all the strands, and you push it up into the braid. You want to make sure that your pin stays hidden inside your braid, because you don't want to divulge your secret on how you did it. And then grab another pin. Also again, just shape it a little bit, and then you put it on the other side, weave it up and down to make sure you grab. Now you see the pins coming out there, so I'm going to push it back down and make sure that it stays within the braid, again, so it stays hidden. Okay? Does that feel secure, Morgan? It's going to stay? Okay. Now what we did for the show was we took out little strands to make little pieces that look a little soft, and then we bring the hair over the ears. And we even actually put it over the face because the girls, when they walk down the runway, it's kind of nice when these pieces flow and they look kind of romantic and soft and pretty. Again, for real life, you don't have to do it if you don't want. And then another little trick that we did at the show is we took a bobby pin, the piece of hair that I tucked behind her ear. I'm going to open the bobby pin, and then I'm going to take that piece and I'm actually going to secure the bobby with the bobby pin, and then I'm just going to push it right into her hair. You see it down there? It's going to hold the piece there. But then I'm going to put her hair over it so you don't kind of see it. So Morgan came in today with her hair just blow dried straight like this, and I like the way it looks. So I showed you the braid just with the blow dry, but I'm also going to show you the wave that we did at the show. The wave is kind of, it's supposed to look like a natural wave. So it just ends up being a kind of natural, how hair would wave naturally. So I pick up another piece. I like to pick them up randomly and not section it too much, because like that way it mixes in better with the hairstyle. So you go in here, and then you push it towards the left. And then holding it with my thumb, I push it towards the right, then I push it towards the left. The important thing is not to pull on this hair, because if you pull on it, you pull on your wave. And you keep weaving it down like that till you get to the bottom. And we kind of did that all over. I'm just going to quickly do it on Morgan. Again, the important thing is not to pull on this hair. If you do the wave, for instance, and you're holding the hair and you're pulling, the heat won't let the wave happen. But if you let the hair stay close to her head until it's cooled off. Now I don't mind it if some pieces fall, because that kind of looks more natural when the pieces aren't all perfect. Go underneath and do a piece underneath. Starts having that kind of romantic wave in her hair. And then we have Morgan's total look. This is her Giambabraid, and these are the waves we did at the show. And I've given you a demonstration here, so hopefully you can go and try it at home. Now you see, this will stay here. These pins, once you secure them in there, they're not coming out. Because I thought the rubber band didn't look really nice here when we kind of finished it with the rubber band. So we put in the two pins, hide them, tuck the ends, hide the pins in there, take out your little hairs if you want. Some people, it bugs them to have these little hairs on their face. Some people like it makes them feel sexy and softer.
Looks good. Yeah, I think it looks good.
And like you have to tell me while we're filming. Like turn the chair around. Yes. With something you would wear yourself on the street, not to do it yourself, but just something you would wear. Si c'est quelque chose que tu porterais. Yes, you would wear it. And thank you all for watching. I will probably make more films and show you more of the looks I do, because this is getting to be fun for me. And I do this all the time anyway to my assistant, so now it's your turn. I'm going to show you everything I do, I think. You're watching Pita live, and please stay tuned for the next presentation. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Bye. Because I wanted to sleep. How was that?
I think it was great.
I think you over, take over. We kind of.
I think we got it.